On guard, on guard. Oh my god. Yes, now I remember. Shut up. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to get to that show, that press ceremony, post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Our youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. Thanks, old bag. I didn't know you were me. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Do I have to? Did you actually see his face? No. Okay, good game. Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay, you promise, right? Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum at your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not. Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this: when you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up? Whippersnapper? A defense attorney? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what? See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? And now it's everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies? When you start pointing at people. All that matters is that the man was inside the costume. Wasn't that enough? Yes, it would have been inconvenient for him to wear his costume. And why would that be? That way no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think that the costume would make him stand out all the more. You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. Oh my god. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. And that included the Gemma Ninja? Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai? As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. There's a contradiction in her testimony. It's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. I wanted to figure out what we're talking about first. Okay. Can I just do this? It really wouldn't be convenient for him to be wearing that. If anything, it would be convenient for him not to wear that. Anything on this? No. Let's try that. No. Evidence clearly, yeah. No. Yeah. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. No. He wouldn't have left a fingerprint. He has that weird arm-looking thing on. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. Believe me, I would love to stab you with it. What? That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important in this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all the previous fingerprints off on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his print on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai, took off his glove, then stabbed him? What? At that point, the defendant had no intent of murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. So it's not premeditation. You just destroyed your own arguments, which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that the defendant and victim had bad blood between them. Yes, I have heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. Smiley face. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intentions of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? There is a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Edgeworth was the killer. If that's the case, on guard, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Really? Oh, yeah. He wouldn't have brought his knife there. This knife was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. God, I wasn't fucking thinking. I didn't think you'd use the same thing twice in a row. Which means that my client was in fact the killer. Then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If they were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. The murderer was wearing a costume at the time of the murder. Then there should be glove marks left on the knife, which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't have been all over like bees on a hive. This is a trap. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say, order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Mr. Matt on guard, obviously. It's to frame my client, Mr. On guard, of course. The frame? Shut up, Edgeworth. Are you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? Hell no, I'm not. And I have nothing to back that up. But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness? Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because of, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida, am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? This old bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. This old bag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? You were waiting for Miss Adrian Andrews, who is too cute to be a murderer. Who is this person? This Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... I see. The judge seems to be really into this article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff. Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. And that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. You're just wanting to blackmail Adrian and if she was seeing him. Because you're a fucking awful person. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. And it's probably some weak fucking point anyways. That On Guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant and his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then that proves that the defendants did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right. On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Oh, is that? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it is true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss AA. But the name of the magazine this comes from is Gossip Land. What, are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? Well, what do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yeah, neither are 100% true. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discriminate? When did I do something like that? Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touche. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle schools these days? Oh, no, I wasn't asking about the word scandal. Even I know what that means. Well, that On Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. Why, he was already winning, who cares? I wish he'd send his manager to get in closer with me, to be honest. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did such a thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? No. I don't have anything to offer. See, just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyway. Like, there's a rivalry, there's nothing I have though. Whatever. What action? So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need. You're going to teach her a good lesson? I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop. Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how did you know this secret information? Huh, well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Let's press further. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today. Edgy boy, what are you doing? Help me. What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me. You'll get your reward. I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. He lectures me on reckless blabbering. As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a bit of waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did old bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. There has to be something we can catch her on. Yeah. And when I find out, I'm going to press the heck out of it. let's try this again, but try pressing, getting evidence. See what the other option does. Present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Bag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. Witness. I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out the secret information, isn't it? It's gotta be the camera. Because Lotta said it was stolen from her, and old Bag's the type just to pick up fucking cameras and keep them. It's either that or the guitar. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. Very southern accent. She reported that she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself. She reported such a thing. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. Ha, that's it. That's the note. Nah. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret groceries to buy. And you're the one who took Miss Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of one, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, and I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she'd written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? Oh, no. I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. I would have loved to see what Von Karma did with her. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it's only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No. Pile on more pressure. She stole the camera, too. If I let up her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness. You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? Yeah. I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Old Bag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. You stole this camera. Miss Old Bag, that note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, the $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Not southern accent, but whatever. Why, witness? What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it was only logical that you have the camera too. Grr, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? No, that's it. What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I eat meals like you, and I fall in love and borrow things from people. Borrow? I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. When I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Guarantee it. I swear to God if it shows Adrian. Fuck. I hate that I keep calling her Aaron. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell it's not the regular Nickel Samurai. His legs are bunched up at the ground, or his pant legs. It's definitely Adrian. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. But you can tell it's not the Nickel Samurai. Actually, what does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, In his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that, at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Fucking no. If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. There is something strange with this photo. I mean, even if there wasn't, you'd have to go through it. Because you can see the way he's standing, it doesn't drag the ground at all. While in this photo, it's clearly dragging the ground by a lot. So that means Adrian's a lot shorter. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Yeah. Anyways, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I had to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Why in the heck did she take this photo anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? It's the legs. I'd like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankle, that would be the one thing. That would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The Nickel Samurai in this photo could not have been Mr. Ungard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take another look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, you can't see anything. The Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. Damn, Adrian is way shorter. Not that funny. There's only one explanation for this. If that isn't even Adrian in there. I hope it's not Adrian in there. Actually, it wouldn't be. Shouldn't be. God, I hope it's not. Because that would be the real killer. Because he took a knife with the glove on it, stabbed him, and then left. Oh, took the little thing, pin thing, and then planted it. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Please don't be Adrian. Please don't be Adrian. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. It's curious. What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only think that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack, then he's not taking any damage. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not mad on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I thought it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not mad on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this too much, it's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah. Why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who in this person is the photograph? No! No! Don't make me do it! No. No. Fuck you. Adrian Andrews. If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it would be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. How short? And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Unguard's room. Why? Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Unguard that night. How does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Unguard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense motions to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. No! It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order! Why? Can I move to dismiss all charges? I want to move for a complete acquittal of my defendant, and a complete non-judgment on Miss Andrews. Fuck you guys.